First City Focus is supported in part by First Vincennes Savings Bank, a community lender committed to making loan decisions locally. Online at frsb.net. Good Samaritan, a regional healthcare center offering a variety of services from primary care to same-day joint replacement surgery and more. Good Samaritan online at gshvin.org. Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. And by Vincennes PBS members, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to First City Focus. I'm your host, Nicole Carey. On this episode, it was so impressive, we just have to take one more look at the total solar eclipse from April 8th and all the excitement that surrounded the solar phenomenon locally. The National Youth Advocate Program has 2 new offices that are now covering our local area. We'll find out how this program aims to address the high demand for foster parents to help children in need. We'll visit the recent improvements at local parks in Vincennes, which we've been following along for a while, including the reveal of a brand new park honoring Native Americans. And a recent career fair hosted at Lincoln High School allowed area students to consider many possibilities for their future. Join us for these stories and more right now on First City Focus. April 8th has come and gone, but who could forget the total solar eclipse that came through our area along the path of totality? It will definitely be a moment in time that many of us will talk about for years to come. Let's take another look at this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Hey, it looks like
you see the diamond ring? There it is. Diamond ring. There it comes. There's the diamond ring. See the diamond ring? It's just that little dot. If you look on there, it's just that little dot. Look how bright it is for us.
It's just really hard to put into words because I've never experienced anything like this, but they weren't lying. It was really something.
Fantastic show. You guys really whip it up here, and I think it's the closest thing to a religious experience you can have, quite honestly.
I'm a student at the University of Illinois. I came to the Eclipse today because I went to the last one in 2017. I was a little kid then, but I just remember it being so cool. So of course I wanted to go. It's so amazing, just like everybody thinks. It's just like, I think the best way to describe it is just like the purest light you ever really see coming from the sun. And it's just so hard to describe. It's just something you got to see with your own eyes.
Unbelievable. It was my first time seeing this.
My second time.
The second.
5 years ago in Hopkinsville. It's awesome both times. This one's over 4 minutes, even better.
My family came here from Virginia, at Mount Vernon, and I think the most special thing that I experienced while looking at the eclipse was just like the beauty of it all, and you got to see it with your own 2 eyes. You didn't have to look through your glasses at like the totality, and I think it's just something very special for me that I'll never forget.
We came down from Michigan, Wisconsin, just south of Green Bay, just to see this today, and it was completely worth it. Very cool to see the totality with the diamond ring around it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was really weird how, like, before it was totality, it was, like, dark, but, like, it was like something was wrong with your eyes. It was weird.
To get to see that complete was pretty cool.
Came from Washington, originally from Bulgaria. And like always, it's very emotional, I would say. You know how it works, you know why it happens, but it's gorgeous to see it in person every single time. I'm looking forward to seeing the next time, anywhere it is.
It was definitely a great experience. According to NASA, the next total solar eclipse in North America will happen on August 23rd, 2044. However, that path of totality will run from North Dakota down to Arizona. So if you want to witness it, you'll have to make some travel plans. We'll talk to anyone who works in the child advocacy field, and they'll tell you the number of children at risk is high, and unfortunately those numbers aren't declining. And as a correlation, the demand for new foster parents is right there as well. That's where the National Youth Advocate Program is on a mission to help raise awareness surrounding fostering. Here to explain more is Laura Stone, the Development Manager in Evansville, and Terry Lynn Durnall, the Regional Manager of Recruitment. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So tell me about the National Youth Advocate Program. It is a private, not-for-profit organization. How long has it been around, and what's its mission?
Yeah, so the National Youth Advocate Program has been around for many, many years. We're one of the largest providers here in Indiana. And, you know, our mission is to help families, help children. We work under the goal of reunifying children who have been removed from their families to get them back in their home.
Okay. And I know we've got 2 new offices.
Yep.
One is in Evansville, where you are, Laura,
Yes.
and the other one is in Sullivan area. So what was the goal in getting these offices opened in this area?
Yeah, so this has been a long time goal for the National Youth Advocate Program, or we like to say NYAP. This now completes our entire state. We now can provide coverage across the entire state of Indiana, and so we got a grant, and so getting these last 2 offices up and running has been just such a goal for us, and you know, just a big achievement in our agency to get that going.
Okay. And so Laura, what is your role then with the organization there in Evansville?
Yeah, so as the development manager, I am opening the Evansville office and basically just trying to connect with the communities that we serve. So the Evansville office does serve 11 counties. Starting with Evansville up to Vincennes and over to Jasper. And so just getting out there, getting our name out there, trying to connect with other organizations in the community, businesses, churches, families, so we can continue to raise that awareness for the need for foster homes and hopefully provide more services in those communities with the services that we provide.
Okay, and then Terry Lynn, tell me more about your position then as recruitment coordinator.
Yeah, so you know, my role is I work with a team in Indiana to help find potential foster parents. One of the big things we do, I think, is just we can answer questions for them, because anybody who's thinking about becoming a foster parent ultimately has a ton of questions.
I bet.
And they're valid questions, you know. And so we answer those questions for parents. We help them get signed up for their classes, and we can talk a little bit about kind of those requirements, but we help them get signed up for classes to become a foster parent, and then we assign them a licensing coordinator that's going to come out and write their home study for them.
Okay. When we talk about the need for fostering, how bad is it in our area?
You know, I think if there's one child who is living in a group home or a youth shelter, the need's high. I mean, we see 50 referrals a week, let's say, and sometimes our offices are only able to place 1 kid. And so, you know, if we don't have enough foster homes, those children are they're getting moved out of their school districts. They are getting moved further and further away from their biological families. And so ideally, you know, we want them out of those shelters, out of those group homes, and in a foster home setting, just so they can live normal lives. You imagine being a teenager and not, you know, having a house to get off the bus to come home to, right? And how awkward that has to be for those years in your life. And so our goal is to get these kids into foster homes, get them close to the homes, you know, close to where their biological families are living, and if at all possible, keep them in the same school systems and with their siblings.
Because I can only imagine as much of a life change as it is being removed from their home, removing everything else that they know has got to have a detrimental effect.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So for those of folks that are tuning into our conversation here, and they may be thinking like, I'm not sure, am I a good fit to be a foster parent? Who is a good foster parent, a candidate to become one?
I would go on to say anyone. It really takes anyone who is willing and able to provide that safe and stable home environment for a child in need. So anyone,
Yeah.
anyone who has that calling.
Yeah, and I think also anybody who has a heart to help a child heal. I mean, you know, as grown-ups, I mean, most people in their lives have been through some kind of trauma in their life, and they know what helped them get through that trauma. And so if you have a heart to help somebody else get through something tough that they've been through, then I think you have the ideal, you know, qualities to become a good foster parent.
Right. And I know, just knowing some folks that I know that are fostering, it really varies whether they have children young or maybe their children are older now. And so a second part of life might be answering this call to try to help. Do you see a different range in types of families? And
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we often talk about looking for empty nesters, people who have kids who maybe moved out to college and have extra bedrooms now, or you know, even somebody who has maybe been widowed and who doesn't have children or something like that. You know, anybody can qualify. You have to be 21, but anybody, you know, meeting our requirements can qualify to become a foster family. And you know, we need families that look like our children coming into care. We have children of all races, all ages, all nationalities, different things like that. And so we want our foster parents to be reflective of the kids that we have coming into care.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Laura, take us through the process then. Somebody says, you know what, I have an interest in this. Let me find out more. What does it look like then until they have, like, get all the way through to a child placed in their home?
Yeah, so kind of going off of what Terry Lynn said, starting with those basic requirements, you do have to be at least 21 years of age, be able to pass background checks, and be willing to provide a safe and stable home for a child. And then your first step would be to call the National Youth Advocate Program, become an inquiry so that we can connect you with a licensing specialist to walk through, answer all those questions for you that you may have and get you started on that process. And the first step that we typically take is to help get them signed up for classes. We do offer all of the training that they need to become a foster parent. And we do that with a very flexible schedule. We're able to work around their scheduling needs, and they're even able to do it virtually, so they can do it from the comfort of their own home. Once they work through the training, they also will start paperwork and an average of 3 to 4 home visits so that we can write their home study so that they become licensed with the state of Indiana as a licensed foster home. And then from there, we're able to start placing children in their home.
Okay. Typically, how many months then maybe does this take?
You know, if somebody is ready and willing to get started and motivated, we're able to get it done within 60 days.
Okay. All right. Well, good to know. If somebody's watching this and maybe becoming a foster parent isn't for them, but they want to find a way to try to help in this effort, are there other ways folks can get involved?
Yeah, I mean, I think just continuing to have those conversations within their family, their social groups, churches, raising that awareness for the need for foster homes. You know, we would be willing, if they want to reach out and see how that they can help us get that information out there. We have lots of information and materials that we could provide so that they could help us raise that awareness as well.
Yeah, we would love to be able to connect to people's churches or their youth group, or you know, any kind. Maybe it's a small business owner. You know, how can we partner with you in some sort of way that we can spread the message that you know we have this huge need for foster parents in our area.
Okay, it's definitely a work of love to try to help these children in need. What would you say is the most rewarding part of your job, Terry Lynn?
I guess I'll have to take this on a personal note because I've had an older youth in my home, a teenager, and you know, that comes with its fears, right? I mean, there's always a fear, you know, when you're bringing something that's kind of an unknown or new scenario into your own home, especially if you have younger children. But I watched her grow. I watched her get her license. I watched her start college and get a job and get her own apartment, and just the bond that we built over that time, and seeing her become a sibling, a true sibling, honestly, to my little children, means the world to me. And it's a relationship that I'll carry with me throughout my whole life. I often tell people, like, she's taught me more about myself than I taught her.
That's great. Yeah. That is awesome. I think that's a good point to end with our conversation. So if there is anyone out there that wants more information about the National Youth Advocate Program or how to become a foster parent, just visit our website, vincenneспbs.org. Thanks for being here today, ladies.
Thanks so much for having us.
Volunteers and donors have been recognized recently for improvements to the Vincennes city parks, while organizers are also working on a new park which pays tribute to Native Americans, and they've recently revealed their progress. News Director Dave Foster and photojournalist Dave Novak show us now what's been happening at Gregg Park, Chicago Park, and now Minooteeni Park as well.
It was a chilly day in March when a crowd gathered at Chicago Park in Vincennes to celebrate the space and those who helped maintain it. A new bench was unveiled at the baseball field in recognition of a number of volunteers who were named Citizens of the Year by the Vincennes Civitan Club. The honor was bestowed on the families, individuals, corporate and nonprofit supporters, elected leaders, and local government workers, all of whom donated time, talent, money, and hard work in making multiple improvements to the neighborhood park on Chicago Avenue.
Well, there's just been all sorts of changes: lighting, pickleball courts, refurbishing the basketball courts, fencing, a lot of fencing for the baseball fields. Of course, our bench is going to be part of that, so people can sit and enjoy the games. A lot of painting.
Also on that day at Chicago Park, the ball field was renamed in honor of the Steele family. Fred and his son Nick are well-known community members. Fred has a history with Vincennes University and has been a coach and volunteer with Special Olympics for many years. His son Nick has been a longtime fan and cheerleader of local sports activities, often seen riding to games and events on his bicycle. Visitors to Chicago Park Steele Field will now see his name and likeness on the scoreboard. Also in Vincennes this spring, a major overhaul is happening in a section of Gregg Park, namely the restoration of the 5-year-old pickleball court. Pickleball enthusiasts, city officials, and corporate sponsors attended a celebration and official groundbreaking for the project in early April. The money to pay for the court's rehab came in part from a state grant.
We did, through the Indiana Housing Community Development Authority, we did a patronicity grant, and in that grant we solicited from players, club members, the corporate sponsors here in Vincennes and anywhere. People just donated. We actually had someone from Mexico saw us online and made a donation. So we were able to raise $100,261, and then we got the patronicity matching grant of $50,000.
The work will include a new surface for the courts, new nets, and new fencing. In addition, some bleachers will be added to the space, thanks to a donation from Vincennes University. From Gregg Park, we move to First and Hart Streets in Vincennes, where a brand new park is in the works. Minooteeni Park is not just a space to enjoy being outside or where kids can play. Its purpose is to educate, inform, and bring awareness to visitors about indigenous peoples and plants. The park was an idea of the local group Wabash Valley Progressives. This space used to be where a Native American Piankashaw village existed. Minooteeni means village in the native language. A special park reveal was a part of the Eclipse activities in Vincennes, held on April 7th, the day before the eclipse. Officials say this park will tell more of the history of Indiana's first city, which, as we all know, runs deep.
Because there's a lot of history in the town, but mostly, of Harrison, of George Rogers Clark, and we saw that there was a need, or there was a hole in some of that interpretation about the indigenous culture that lived here. And so we kind of brainstormed like how this would happen. Would it be this, like an existing site, creating a new park? And we were talking to the mayor Yoakum, about it, and he suggested this site as a possibility to enhance and put a park on. And from there, kind of, we wanted to figure out how to do the interpretation, because most of us knew a little bit but didn't know a lot, and we wanted this to be a project where we helped told a tribe story. Like, we didn't just try to tell it, but we wanted to collaborate and work with the people that we wanted to represent. So we went through some iterations of working with different partners, and we're very lucky to be working with the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma and Peoria Tribe of Oklahoma, who were both, we were glad to have here today.
There is lots more to be added to this park. Currently, volunteers and others have created a nature playground outline with equipment to come. a recirculating stream feature, a split rail fence, and some native plants, which will be up this summer. Once Minooteeni Park is completed, Vincennes will be home to 5 city parks. For photojournalist Dave Novak, I'm News Director Dave Foster for First City Focus.
You can keep up with what's happening at the city parks through the Vincennes Park and Recreation Department's web and social media pages. We have those links for you on our website. Well, what do you want to do when you grow up? It's a question many students don't know how to answer when they're asked. But thanks to a recent career fair held at Lincoln High School in Vincennes, maybe they're now weighing more possibilities. And we were fortunate enough to bring the high-tech world of broadcasting to those students there to allow them the opportunity of a hands-on experience. Allison Bowers has the details.
It's not every day that you find a high school gymnasium full of people. People promoting their business while sharing their career with students, that is. But that's exactly what took place recently at Lincoln High School, thanks to the 110 businesses taking part in a now annual career fair. One of the event organizers is Becky Bushy, the Community Partnership Development Coordinator for the Vincennes School Corporation. She says this event is all about helping the students weigh their future possibilities.
The goal of today is to show the students how many opportunities there are in the Knox County area, the general vicinity. So many students think there's not very many good jobs, but there's some awesome jobs here. So the career exploration that they are going to learn by coming through and seeing all of these businesses, there's so many opportunities for the students if they'll take advantage of it.
This is only the second year for the career fair, but co-organizer and career coach Kalina McCormick says more than 40 organizations were added to the list for this year, in addition to those who attended last year.
It's incredible. Just to hear the feedback from last year, we thought we had a great attendance for our first year, and then word of mouth, it speaks volumes about our students, it speaks volumes about our community, that they are willing to invest in the future of our community to make sure that we can build a successful workforce.
Also new this year was the chance for juniors and seniors from North Knox, South Knox, and Reveille to come take part in the career fair. While this has organically come together in Knox County, to have all of these businesses in one place for the county high school students, it seems to be ahead of a curve that's coming.
There are a lot of changes that are happening at the high school level. They are going to require students to go to a career fair, so we thought it was easier to host one in one spot and make it a little easier on all of our businesses too, so they don't have to give up 3 or 4 days of their time and they can just come and volunteer one day.
I think it's a great thing to have because that's where kids can see what they want to do when they're older.
I think the careers really fun because you can go and talk to different areas and see what you're really interested in and learn a lot about it.
Some things I've learned about the fair is these different jobs, they don't only work with one thing.
And I think that the career fair is very open and wide and that it lets kids have the opportunities to do and see what they want to do.
I think it's a lot cooler because it's a lot bigger than last year. There's a lot more people, a lot more businesses to talk to.
My favorite thing about the career fair is that you can figure out what you are interested in, what you want to do, especially out of high school to go to college and stuff.
I think it's real cool, all the opportunities and things you get to see, talking to everyone, and they tell you what everything's about, and it's a good chance to see what your future is going to look like.
Not only did the students get to learn about so many different career possibilities, but they also got to sharpen their communication skills. In order to qualify for the many door prizes that were donated by the businesses, the students had to interact with a variety of booths to earn gold tickets to be entered into the drawing. At our Vincennes PBS booth, many students asked great questions about broadcasting. We were able to give them a hands-on taste of video production and share with them some behind-the-scenes magic of our industry.
But this program, have you watched the new Fallout series?
Here we got a little bit of rain coming in on, I can't read that, but that's Indianapolis. Oh, Indianapolis, it's a rainy day over there.
And in Evansville, rain. And in Indianapolis,
Even the middle school students were excited to spend part of their day exploring careers.
I work mostly at the middle school, and their response was so positive, and even the response from the businesses regarding our middle school kids, because we went back and forth. Do you let the middle school kids come to this, or is it a little early? But they were so into it. They were coming in beforehand, showing me pictures of their outfits they were going to wear to make sure they looked professional enough. They were all just very excited about it. They loved getting to talk to the businesses. They were telling me things that I didn't even know about the businesses, so they were very engaged, and I just love to see that, especially in my position.
And as far as how this event might grow even further in the years to come, time will tell. But it's definitely proven to be a benefit for everyone involved.
I'm overwhelmed with what we have accomplished, but the main thing is I am just so proud of what we have been able to provide for the students and for the businesses as well, because they benefit also.
As someone who is from Knox County and just born and raised here, went to Lincoln High School, I wish there had been something like this for myself. It makes me bust with pride for our community that they see the value in keeping students here. I think even when I started planning this, there are businesses that signed up and I didn't know what they did. I didn't know that these opportunities were available. So it's just so wonderful that our kids can see what there is.
For First City Focus, I'm Allison Bowers.
We definitely enjoyed being there, and maybe we lit the broadcasting fire in a few of those students. Well, another community event we love being a part of was sponsoring the Kids Zone during Eclipse weekend in Vincennes. Take a look.
It's just the right shot.
She comes down from the sky and visits her friends.
There you go. So, Cole, come over here. Sorry about that.
Very awesome.
All right, say it. Say, Luna, let her dance, so let the world lead the way.
Wonderful. Thank you, Luna. We're happy. Thank you, yes, very, very cool, very cool. Congratulations for having a great day over here, Luna.
What do you say? Yeah.
It's exciting. I really feel like the city's been revitalizing over the past decade, honestly, since I've lived here, and just to see everyone coming out for an event like this is really encouraging.
Say bye-bye. See you guys. See you.
The Weekend Kids Zone, the whole Eclipse, as well as our live broadcast, it all made a great experience that I know we won't forget anytime soon. If you missed our live coverage on Eclipse Day, you can watch it right now on our website, vincennes.pbs.org. Thank you for joining us for First City Focus. For everyone here at Vincennes PBS, I'm Nicole Carey. Join us again next week.
First City Focus is supported in part by First Vincennes Savings Bank, a community lender committed to making loan decisions locally. Online at frsb.net. Good Samaritan, a regional healthcare center offering a variety of services from primary care to same-day joint replacement surgery and more. Good Samaritan online at gshvin.org. Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. And by Vincennes PBS members, thank you.